A very good morning to one and all. In last lecture, we have started the first topic, that is linear programming problem. We have seen there are different methods to solve the given linear programming problem. Out of the three methods, we have started the graphical method, and we have seen there are two steps to perform the graphical method. After that, we have solved one numerical based on the graphical method. Today, we will solve one more numerical based on the graphical method. So the question is like that: a factory manufactures two items A and B on which the profit obtained per unit are rupees 3 and rupees 4 respectively. Each item is processed on two machines X and Y. Item A requires 1 minute to processing time on machine X and 2 minutes on machine Y, while B requires 1 minute on machine X and 1 minute on machine Y. Machine X is available for not more than 7 hours 30 minutes, while machine Y is available for 10 hours during any working day. Find the number of units of items A and B to be manufactured to have maximum profit. This is the question that we have to solve today. Now, what is the difference between first question and this question? What is the difference? In previous question, they have provided one table, means they have converted the given numerical in the form of tabular form. But in this question, they have not given the table. So first of all, we have to convert this given question in the form of table. Means the sentence they have given, means the question they have given in terms of sentence, we have to convert this in the form of table. So first of all, we'll construct one table. Now, according to question, what they have given, a factory manufactures two items A and B. Means the factory will manufacture two items A and B on which they are getting the profit of rupees 3 and 4 respectively. Okay, and there are two machines X and Y on which we have to perform or we have to manufacture the items, and they have given the time period, how much minutes is required on machine X and machine Y. Similarly, they have given the availability of machines. Machine X is available for 7 hours 30 minutes and machine Y is available for 10 hours during the working hour. Okay, so by using all this data, we have to first construct the table. Okay, so first step now will become step number 1. Step number 1 will be construction of mathematical problem. Okay, so first of all, we have to construct the given question in the form of one table. So I will draw the table. Now in first column, what I will do, similar to the last numerical, I have now, here I am taking machines. In last numerical, we have taken here the raw materials. In second column, I will take the number of items that we have to produce, that is items. Here we have to produce A and B items. After that, in third column, I will take availability. Means how much time the machine will be available for producing the items A and B. See what they have given. We are having two machines X and Y, so we'll write X and Y. Now what they have given, see, item A requires 1 minute on processing time on machine X. Means for processing item A, we required 1 minute on machine X. So I'll write 1 year because we required 1 minute. Similarly, what they have given, and 2 minutes on machine Y. Means for same item, that is item A, we required 1 minute on machine X and 2 minutes on machine Y. So I will write 2 here. Next, what they are given, while B requires 1 minute on machine X, means B required 1 minute on machine X. So I will write 1 year, and 1 minute on machine Y. So I will write 1 year. Okay. So this is the given data. Next, what they have given, machine X is available for not more than 7 or 30 minutes. What is the meaning of that? Means machine X will be operating only for this much of time, that is 7 or 30 minutes. After 7 or 30 minutes, the machine X will get shut down. Okay, means this is nothing but our limitation, or we can say this is nothing but our availability of machine X for producing job A and job B, or we can say atom A and atom B. So here the time which we have considered here, that is in terms of minute, and here the time they have given, that is in terms of hour and minute. So what we have to do, we have to convert this 7 or 30 minutes into minutes in order to balance, because they have given item A requires 1 minute on machine X and 2 minutes on machine Y. Similarly, they have given item B required 1 minute on machine X and 1 minute on machine Y. Okay, so we have to convert this given time, that is 7 hours 30 minutes, into minutes. So how much it will become? 7 into 60, it will 420 minutes, plus this 30 minutes means 450 minutes. So I will get 450 minutes. So availability is in minute. Okay. Similarly, what they are given, while machine Y is available for 10 hours during any working days, means when the working days are there, so machine Y will be available only for 10 hours. So again, we have to convert this 10 hours into minute. How much it will become? 10 into 60, it will give 600 minutes. So I will write 600. Okay. Now come back to the first sentence. What they are given, a factory manufactures 2 items A and B, on which profit obtained per unit are ₹3 and ₹4. See what they are given, profit obtained per unit, means if we manufactured A atom, then we are getting ₹3 profit, and if we are manufacturing B atom, then we are getting ₹4. But it is for a single unit, because they have given per unit. They have given per unit. So I will add one more row, that is profit per unit. So what is the profit per unit? That is ₹3 for atom A and ₹4 for atom B. Okay. So this is the table. Got it? Those who have attended last lecture, they can easily understand. Okay. Now we'll go for the next step. What is the next step? That is step number 2 here. Formulation of LPP. Formulation of LPP. So under this formulation of LPP, there are again 3 substeps. What is the first step? Decision variable. Now what are the decision variable? See, we are going to produce A atoms on machine X and Y. Similarly, we are going to produce B atoms on machine X and Y. But we don't know how much pieces of A we are going to produce and how much pieces of B we are going to produce. So first of all, we have to decide. Means we have to decide how much quantity of products we are going to produce under A and under B. So that's why I will consider X1 is nothing but the number of products producing under P1. Similarly, X2 is nothing but the number of products that we are going to produce under P2. Or we can say directly write A and B. Okay, A and B. X1 is nothing but number of products that we are going to produce under atom A. X2 is nothing but number of products in B. We don't know how much products we are going to produce under A and B with the help of machine X and Y during this time period. What they have given? For atom A, we required 1 minute on machine X and 2 minutes on machine Y. But the total time available is 450 minutes and 600 minutes. So we don't know how much pieces we are going to manufacture under A and under B. That's why I have decided that we are manufacturing X1 pieces under A and we are going to manufacture x2 pieces under B. So this is a decision variable. Now second step is, what is the second step? Objective function. The second step is objective function. What is objective function? See, what is our objective? To maximize the profit. The objective is to maximize the profit. So simply I can write Z max. We know that Z will shows about the objective function. Max means we have to do the maximization. Okay, is equal to, now tell me how the objective function will come here. See, for 1 unit we are getting 3 rupees. For 1 unit we are getting 3 rupees, and for 1 unit of B we are getting 4 rupees. But here we have decided that under A we are going to manufacture x1 pieces, so I will write x1 here, and under B we are going to manufacture x2 pieces. Okay, we don't know what is the quantity of x1 and x2, that we have to find out. Okay, but here what they have given, the profit ₹3 for 1 piece, the profit of ₹3 for 1 piece, but here we are going to manufacture x1 pieces. So what will be the profit now? 3 into x1 plus, here under B we are going to produce x2 pieces, and we know that for 1 piece the profit is 4 rupees. So for x2 pieces, what will be the profit? That is 4 into x2. So I will write 4 into x2. This will become our objective function. Now the third sub-step is subjected to constraint or limitation. Subjected to constraint or limitation. Now see how I can write. What is the constraint? For producing item A, we require 1 minute on machine X. Similarly, we required 1 minute. Similarly, we required 1 minute on machine X. See, for producing item A, we required 1 minute on machine X. Similarly, for producing item B, we required 1 minute on machine X. So here again, we don't know how much quantity of items we are going to produce. So what will be the subjected to constraint? First constraint, that is on machine X. On machine X, the constraint will become 1 into x1 plus 1 into x2 less than or equal to 450. Got it? See, this time period is for only one object or one product, but here we are going to produce x1 pieces. So the time will be 1 into x1. हा टाइम जो आहे एक प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस करण्यासाठी 1 मिनिट लागतो, पण आपण इथे x1 प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस करतोय, त्यामुळे टाइम किती लागला इथे? 1 into number of products. So I have taken 1 into number of products plus here on machine X for item B we required 1 minute, म्हणजे आपण एका मिनिटामध्ये एक प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस करू शकतो. But here when we are going to manufacture x2 products, so the time required for producing x2 products is nothing but 1 into x2, that is 1 into x2, and less than or equal to 450. Okay. Now on machine Y, what is the constraint they have given? See, for producing 1 unit of A, we require 2 minutes on machine Y. Similarly, for producing 1 unit of B, we require 1 minute on machine Y. Got it? म्हणजे A चा आपल्याला एक प्रोडक्ट मॅन्युफॅक्चर करायला 2 मिनिट लागतात Y मशीन वरती. सिमिलरली B चा आपल्याला एक प्रोडक्ट मॅन्युफॅक्चर करायला 1 मिनिट लागतो मशीन Y वरती. But here we have considered that we are producing x1 pieces of A and x2 pieces of B. Then what will be the constraint? That is 2 into x1 plus 1 into x2 is less than or equal to 600. Okay. Less than or equal to 600. So these are nothing but main constraint. I will write these are nothing but our main constraint. And I have told you from our side we'll add one more constraint, that is non-negativity constraint, that is x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. This is called as non-negative constraint. Now what we did, we convert this given numerical in the form of equations with the help of different variables. So here variables are x1 and x2. Now the fourth step is, that is step number E. What is that fourth step? Formation of LPP. Means whatever we did right till now, we have to just summarize. So first will become objective function, that is Z max is equal to 3x1 plus 4x2, subjected to constraints. What are those constraints? x1 plus x2 are less than or equal to 450. This will be our equation number 1. And the second equation is 2x1 plus x2 are less than or equal to 600. This is the equation number 2. And the third constraint, that is non-negativity constraint, x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So this is nothing but the first step, that is formulation of LPP. Now we'll go for step number 2. What is the step number 2? That is solution of LPP by using graphical method. By using graphical method. So for the purpose, I will draw the coordinates, x and y coordinates. Now instead of x and y, I will write x1 and x2, because we have considered there are two variables. X1 is the first variable and x2 is the second variable. Means instead of x, I will write x1. Instead of y, I will write x2. Okay. Now simply what we have to do, we have to plot the equation of lines that we are getting, equation number 1 and equation number 2, in this given graph. So I will write first from equation 1. What is equation number 1? x1 plus x2 are less than or equal to 450. So I can rewrite this equation like this: x1 plus x2 is equal to 450. Okay. So what is the next step? What is the next step? We have to put one value is 0. Let's put x1 is equal to 0. Then we'll get x2 is equal to 450. Okay. So from this we'll get the value of x2. Next, again put, now x2 is equal to 0 in this equation. From that we'll get x1 is equal to again 450. This is what we get from equation number 1. Similarly, from equation 2, what is the equation of line? That is 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 600. So we can rewrite this equation like this: 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 600. Now again, do the same thing. Put any variable 0, then we'll get the second variable. After that, put the second variable 0, we'll get the first variable value. So I'll put x1 is equal to 0, then we'll get x2 is equal to 600. Now I will put x2 is equal to 0, then we'll get 2x1 is equal to 600. From that, x1 will be equal to 300. So these are the points. So we have to simply draw these points on this given graph. So before that, I will mark the scale. I will mark the scale. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. I have taken up to 600 because highest value is 600. Okay. Similarly, I have to mark on y-axis 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600. Now simply we have to plot these values on this given graph. Now see, from equation number 1, the value of x1 is 450. So where the 450 will be? At this location, we are getting the 450. This is 450. What is the value of x2? That is also 450. So x2 is on y-axis. We have to, so that we have to plot on y-axis. So 450 will become here. After that, what we have to do? We have to draw one line which will passes through these 2 points, that is x1 and x2. So I will draw one line which is passing through these particular points, 2 points. and I will write the equation of line, that is x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 450. Okay, now we'll plot the coordinates of equation number 2. From equation number 2, we are getting x1 is 300, so this is our 300, and x2 is 600, so this is our 600. Okay, this is our 600. So again, I have to draw one line which will pass through 300 and 600. So this line will become like this. And I will write the equation of line, that is 2x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 600. Okay. Now see, the equation number 1 is what? x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 450. And we are getting the value of x1 and x2 is 450. So what is the meaning of that? Either the value of x1 is 450 or less than 450. Similarly, either the value of x2 is 450 or less than 450. So what I told you, when we are getting this kind of case, then the solution is always towards the origin. Solution is always towards the origin, because the value of x1, either it should be 450 or less than 450. It will not more than 450. Similarly, the value of x2, it may be either 450 or less than 450. It will not go beyond the 450. So that we can say that the solution will be towards the origin. So this is our origin 0, 0. Okay. Now similarly, see, from equation 2, what is the equation 2? x1 plus x2 are less than, sorry, here 2x1 plus x2 are less than 600. From that we get x1 is 300 and x2 is 600. Means what? The value of x1 is either 300 or less than 300. Similarly, the value of x2 is either 600 or less than 600. It will not go beyond 300 and beyond 600. So again, we can say, from this we can say that the solution will be towards the origin. Solution will be towards the origin. Now, what is the third constant? C, that is x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. Means the value of x1, it may be either 0 or greater than 0. Means what? The solution will be away from the origin. म्हणजे x1 ची व्हॅल्यू 0 तर असेल किंवा 0 पेक्षा जास्त असेल, कारण ग्रेटर दॅन 0 म्हटलं आपण. सो ग्रेटर दॅन 0 म्हणजे इन दिस डायरेक्शन. सो द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ 0 either 0 or it will be more than 0. So the direction of line is like this. Similarly, x2 is also 0 or greater than 0. So we are getting x2 in this direction and x1 in this direction. Means what? The x2 ची व्हॅल्यू एकतर 0 असेल किंवा 0 पेक्षा जास्त असेल. जास्त म्हणजे कुठे? अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन मध्ये, कारण x2 हा अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन मध्ये आहे, दॅट इज इन y डायरेक्शन. Got it? Now we have to find the feasible region. Okay, so out of these lines, which one is the common area? I told you how to find the common area. See what I will do. The equation of line which shows that the solution is towards the origin. So I will draw like this. Similarly, second line equation also tells that the solution is towards the origin. So again, I will draw like this, because the solution is towards the origin and our origin is here. So I will draw this kind of lines. Now, what x1 tells, the value of x1 is either 0 or it will be greater than 0. So we can draw like this. Up to x2. Okay. Similarly, x2, what is the meaning of x2? x2 is either 0 or greater than 0. So you can draw like this. Now tell me which one is the common area? Which one is the common area? This one will be our common area, from this point to this point, from this point to this point, from this to this point, and from this to this point. This will be our common area. So I will draw hedging lines. So this region is called as feasible region. This region is called as feasible region. I hope you have understood how to find this feasible region. You have to just find out the common area. Okay. Now the next point is we have to mark the corner points of common area. So see, this one will be the first point, corner point of this common area. I will give the notation A. Next, this will be the next corner point. So I will give notation B. This will be our third corner point. So I will give notation C. After that, this will be our fourth corner point. I will give notation D. Any else? Anything else? अजून कोणता corner point राहिला का? हा common area चा नाही. Okay. Now we have to find the coordinates at this common, or we can say at this corner point. So at A, the coordinates are 0, 0. At B, now what is the coordinate? That is 0, 450, because x1 is 0 at this location and x2 is 450. That's why I have written 0, 450. At point D, what are the coordinates? What are the coordinates now? Tell me. See, x1 is 300, but x2 is 0. So I will write 300, 0. Okay. Now only thing is that point number C. Now what is the value, or what are the coordinates at point C? What are the coordinates? If you are using graph paper, you can directly extend this line on x2 and x1. You will directly get the coordinates of x1 and x2. But if you are calculating, or if you are plotting the graph on a plain paper, then it is difficult to find the values or the coordinates at this particular point. So I have told you yesterday how to calculate the coordinates at this particular location. See, this point C is the intersection of this line and this line. Okay, means this point C is the intersection of x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 50, and 2x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 600. Okay, हा point C ह्या दोन लाईनचा सेंटर पॉइंट आहे, किंवा ह्या सेंटर पॉइंट मधून हे दोन लाईन्स पास होतात. सो आपल्याला ह्या पॉइंट सी चे कोऑर्डिनेट्स काढायचे. ते कसं फाइंड आउट करणार? सी फ्रॉम 1 and 2. Why 1 and 2? Because this point, through this point, line 1 and line 2 both are passing. So what is first line, or the equation of the first line? That is x1 plus x2 is equal to 450. And what is the equation of second line? That is 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 600. So solve these two equations simultaneously. I will subtract these two equations, then it will become minus x1. So x2 minus x2 will become 0. It cancel होऊन जातील. Is equal to 450 मधून 600 minus झाला, it will become 1 minus 150. So from that we can write x1 is equal to 150. Once we get the value of x1, put this value in either one of these equations. Either one of these equations. Okay, x1 value we have to put either one of this equation, we will get the value of x2. So put x1 is equal to 150 in equation number 1. So instead of x1, I will put 150, x2 remains as it is, and 450 remains as it is. From this, we will get x2 is equal to 300. Okay, so we can write these coordinates here. X1 is 150 and x2 is 300. Got it? Now we got the four corners with their coordinates. Now we have to find at what location or at what corner point we are getting the maximum profit. Okay, so it is very simple that we discussed yesterday. First of all, I will write our objective function, that is z max is equal to 3x1 plus 4x2. Okay, now we have to find the maximum value of z at various coordinates where we are having value of x1 and x2. Okay, so first I will calculate z max at corner point A, where the coordinates are 0 and 0. This 0 is nothing but x1 and this 0 is nothing but x2. So simply put the values of x1 and x2 in this equation, then we'll get the answer 0. Second, similarly, I will calculate the value of z at location B, where the coordinates are 0, 450. Here this 0 is nothing but x1 and 450 is nothing but x2. So simply put this value in this equation, it will become 3 into 0 plus 4 into 450. Simplify. how much it will become? I think it will become 1800. Now go for the next corner point, Z max at location C, and the coordinates are 150 and 300. Okay, so this 150 is nothing but x1, this 300 is nothing but x2. Put in the given equations, so 3 into 150 plus 4 into 300. Simplify this, 150 into 3, it is 450 plus 300 into 4, it will give 1200. Simplify it, it will give 1650. Now, next corner point, that is Z max at D, and the coordinates are 300, 0. Now the 300 will be x1 and 0 will be x2. Put this value in the above equation, will give 3 into 300 plus 4 into 0. So after simplification, we'll get 900. After simplification, we'll get 900. Now observe which corner point will give the maximum profit. So you can easily tell that at location B, where the coordinates are 0, 450, we are getting the maximum profit of 1800. So this will be our final answer. What they have asked, what is the maximum profit? So here we can write the Z max is equal to 1800 is at B 0, 450. We are getting the value of Z is maximum, that is 1800 at the location B, where the coordinates are 0 and 450. Okay, got it? What they have asked, that we have find here. Okay, got it? Any doubt? Any doubt? Please ask me. If you are in doubt, please ask me. And they have again asked one question, see, that I forgotten. What the question is, find the number of units of items A and B. Means how much items we are producing of A and producing of B. That also we have to find out. Okay, we have find out the maximum profit, but we have not find the value of A and B. See, here what we have decided. We have decided that we are producing X1 pieces of A and we are producing X2 pieces of B. Okay, so here, what is the X1? X1 is 0. What is X2? X2 is 450. And we know that X1 is nothing but number of A, this means number of products in A. X2 is nothing but number of products in B. So this is nothing but our answer. That is number of, what we can say, units of items A and B. So under A, we are going to produce 0 items, and under B, we are going to produce 450 items. That will give us the maximum profit of 1800. So this is the final solution of your question. Any doubt? Any doubt? No doubt? Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll meet again in next lecture with one more numerical. In next numerical, what we'll do, we'll consider the case of minimization. Okay. So please someone send me the today's attendance. I will stop here. We'll meet in next lecture. Thank you.